The room went silent, just as the elite of Washington were clinking glasses at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. A series of deafening blasts shattered the prestige. Guests dived under tables. Secret Service agents swarmed the stage. President Trump was whisked away into the shadows of the Washington Hilton. But while the media is calling it a lone wolf incident, the hidden records we've uncovered tell a far more calculated story. This wasn't just a security breach. It was a failure of the system that almost cost a life. And the digital trail left behind by the man they call the friendly federal assassin is about to expose a side of this story the mainstream news won't touch. To understand what happened in that lobby, we have to look at the 90 minutes leading up to the first shot. At approximately 8:36 p.m., a man identified as Cole Thomas Allen approached the main magnetometer screening area. He wasn't just a protester. He was a 31-year-old computer engineer and tutor from Torrance, California. Reports indicate he was armed with a 12-gauge shotgun, a .38 caliber semi-automatic pistol, and multiple knives. He didn't wait for a check. He charged. He darted past the security checkpoint, firing at least one direct shot at a Secret Service agent. The agent was struck in the chest. The room went silent because everyone thought they had just witnessed an execution. But then, a miracle happened. The officer's bullet-resistant vest did the job. Trump later confirmed the officer is in great shape, but the questions are only just beginning. Why was a man with a heavy arsenal able to get within feet of the presidential ballroom? The official narrative is a security incident near the screening area, but the files suggest something else. We've looked into Allen's background, and what we found is a profile that screams for investigation. Cole Allen wasn't a ghost. He was an award-winning teacher named Teacher of the Month just months ago. He was a developer with games on Steam. And most importantly, he was a political donor. Federal records reveal that in October 2024, Allen donated to Act Blue, earmarked for the Kamala Harris campaign. The records are right there. But there's a deeper curiosity gap. Minutes before he stormed the Hilton, Allen sent a series of encrypted messages to his family. In these writings, he referred to himself as a friendly federal assassin. He railed against the administration's policies, specifically targeting recent military strikes in the Pacific. He didn't name the president directly, but the target was clear. Why did the FBI miss this digital red flag? How did a Teacher of the Month become a high-stakes gunman in the heart of D.C. during the chaotic minutes after the shooting? The president was held in a secure suite, while hotel staff reportedly refolded napkins and refilled water glasses, expecting the show to go on. But the show didn't go on. The event was scrapped. Trump, however, wasn't staying quiet. Within 30 minutes, he was at the White House podium, calling Allen a lone wolf whack job. He posted images of the suspect shirtless on the ground, surrounded by agents, face down on the carpet. It was a power exposure moment, the commander-in-chief showing the face of the man who tried to breach his inner circle. But here is where the story gets tense. Critics are now grilling the Secret Service over the breach. How did Allen get past the first layer of barricade? Witnesses, including CNN's Caitlin Collins, say they were only feet away when the shots were fired. Some reports claim as many as 5 to 8 gunshots echoed through the subterranean ballroom area. The discrepancy between 1 shot and 8 shots is the curiosity gap that National Pulse is tracking. Was there more than one weapon fired? Was the friendly federal assassin working with information that shouldn't have been public? The investigation continues, and the charges are mounting. Allen faces counts of using a firearm during a crime of violence and assault on a federal officer. But the real reveal is in the motive. Why did he choose the White House Correspondents' Dinner, an event meant to celebrate the First Amendment? In his writings, he claimed he was acting against government overreach. Yet his background shows a man deeply embedded in the very system he attacked. A teacher, a tutor, a computer scientist. This is the pattern of a radicalization that the official briefings are trying to downplay. Wait. Let's stop for a second. Think about the timing. Just as the administration is declaring total victory in the Middle East, a man from California charges the president's security detail with a shotgun. Is it a coincidence, or is it a distraction? Some insiders are pointing to Allen's Steam developer logs, where he reportedly discussed system failures and target acquisition in the weeks leading up to the dinner. The FBI claims they have everything. But the room went silent when Representative Massey asked if they had subpoenaed Allen's private server. The answer: a long, bureaucratic silence. As we look at the leaked photos and the Truth Social posts, one thing is clear. The 2026 WHCD shooting was not an accident. It was a calculated strike at the heart of American power. The room went silent on April 25th, but the echoes of those shots are going to lead to a massive oversight hearing. We will be here when the officials are grilled. We will be here when the hidden emails from the Secret Service finally see the light of day. Because when a federal assassin charges a security checkpoint, the pulse of the nation demands the truth. But what about the $25 donation? To the media, it's a footnote. To National Pulse, it's a line of inquiry. Why would a man donating to the opposition suddenly decide that a violent breach was the only answer? We've seen this pattern before. a lone wolf, with just enough of a political trail to satisfy a narrative, but enough technical skill to embarrass the world's elite security force. Look closely at the CCTV footage from the lobby. Alan wasn't panicked. He was moving with purpose. He knew exactly where the magnetometer was. He knew exactly who to target. The officer who was shot, the one saved by the vest, is being hailed as a hero. And he is. But the fact that he had to be a hero is the problem. It's the status conflict between the security theater of the WHCD and the reality of the threat. While celebrities were joking about politics inside the ballroom, a man with a shotgun was already through the first door. If that vest hadn't held, we would be talking about a very different kind of national pulse today. The administration wants to move on. They want to talk about the success of the response. But we want to talk about the failure of the detection. Stay tuned to National Pulse as we dive into the suspect's signal chats and the donor list that the mainstream media is trying to bury. Every 40 seconds, a new piece of this puzzle is surfacing. Was Alan truly a lone wolf, or was he the tip of a much larger spear? The files don't lie. The records are coming. The show didn't go on that night, but the search for justice is just beginning. Look at the images again. Look at the defiance. The truth is in the record. And we are going to find out why the room really went silent. Because in the world of high-stakes power plays, the most dangerous weapon isn't a missile. It's a document they thought was deleted. Or in this case, a teacher from Torrance who decided he was a federal assassin. The heartbeat of justice is still pounding. And we are the only ones counting the beats. This is National Pulse. The investigation continues. The records are surfacing. And we are not stopping until every name on Alan's signal list is read out loud. Every redaction, each missing page, and every no credible information response shows how justice bends when influence is involved. Look at the timeline again. Why did the security checkpoint fail? Why was the teacher of the month able to get a shotgun into a presidential event lobby? The official narrative is crumbling. We will continue to shine light into the deeper shadows. Because when the same system gets to decide what's credible about its own failures, that's not justice. That's control. The silence is cracking. Let's make sure it finally breaks. Every major leak, every accountability breakthrough, every truth that finally came to light happened because people refused to move on. So don't move on. Don't let this story fade into the next news cycle. If you care about transparency, demand it. Ask for the secure briefing that was promised. Because the truth doesn't belong to any administration or political party. It belongs to the people who were promised justice and never got it. This story isn't over. Behind every binder, every memo, every carefully worded denial, there's a paper trail. And it's only a matter of time before someone finds it. The investigation is just beginning. The truth is in the files. Stay curious, stay loud, and join us on National Pulse where we expose what others won't. The silence wasn't emptiness. It was protection, and we are here to break that protection. This is the pulse of a nation that won't be silenced. This is the reality of the 2026 WHCD breach. One officer shot, one suspect down, and 1,000 secrets waiting to be uncovered. Keep your eyes on the screen. The next reveal is coming.